So I know we have been discussing quite a lot of different things, but tomorrow and the day after, everything will come together in your mind as a framework of theory of change, theory-based evaluation, and why are we talking about all of these? Now, going from tourism to another social issue. I'm not saying that this is the topic that is corruption. Yeah. But you triggered quite a lot of debate. I would like to also talk about another social problem that I have worked in last year that was 2020, about Syrian refugees in Turkey. And the topic of the program was improving the welfare of Syrian refugees in Turkey. The topic of the project is supporting Syrian refugee families in achieving food security through income generating vegetable production in Elbeyli and Kahramanmaraş. As you know, what is food security? Do you know what food security is? Yeah. Food safety and food security. The difference is there is a difference. Food safety is what you eat. If this is healthy, this is safe. Yeah. But food security is if you are able to find enough calories of food to be able to live. So food security is that, so that you won't die from hunger. Yeah. So this was funded by WWH, World Hunger Alliance, German firm, and the end of project evaluation was done by Trust Consultancy, which is based in Gaziantep in Turkey, and I was a consultant in that project. That project started in 2017, and it was extended throughout, and it ended in July 2020. And over time, the project had 518 households that was participating in that project, and they have assisted them to build 26 greenhouses for them to grow their own food. And if they also have enough food for their households, they were able to go and sell it in the market for pocket money. So that was the essence of the program. This is the area, Kahramanmaraş, Şanlıurfa, Hatay. As you know, this is the earthquake area. This here is the earthquake area, unfortunately. Then, what is the intervention? The intervention is to facilitate land use for the refugees through renting and provide trainings for agricultural production. Of course, that renting, the money was coming from the WWH, the funding agency.
Was there any funding from the Turkish government involved?
No, it was just WWH. Facilitate employment in greenhouses, but of course, there are, the cooperation of muhtars, cooperation of belediye, cooperation of the municipalities. I mean, muhtar is the head of the villages in Turkey. That's what we call it. Facilitate employment in greenhouses and provide trainings for them to be able to grow vegetables. Very important is nutrition trainings for the women, for them to train to feed their children. Tree intervention resulted with these following outcomes. Would result with 3 outcomes, 1, 2, 3. One is that they will be able to produce enough food for them. Second, they will be working in greenhouses for their own use and then generate income for them. And also the third is better nutritional knowledge. So the ultimate result, the impact is improvement of welfare and well-being. And this evaluation, we did not cover this nutrition component because that was a different component, because nutrition is something that needs to be done by the cooperation of the nutrition specialist. So it was a different evaluation that was carried later. Who are the beneficiaries? The beneficiaries should produce enough food, work in greenhouses, and have better nutritional knowledge. And this is the theory of change that we have formulated. This is a simple theory of change, actually. Doesn't have like backward and forward linkages. These are the interventions, the inputs and activities, trainings, facilitation of land, facilitation of employment, and nutritional training. This is the additional component. And these are the outputs. If after these, with these inputs, these would be the outputs: production of enough food, employment in greenhouses. This will provide us better nutritional knowledge. Outcomes will be improvement in production capacity, improvement of nutrition knowledge. This is the output. These are output. This is the short-term outcome. Intermediate outcomes will be increased income to cover their needs, improvement in food security, marketable skills, and this is the different. This is a different component, as I said. Better eating habits. All of them will lead to better well-being. What are these are the three in theory of change you have to consider: contextual factors and intended effects, risks, if any. I did not put down the risk here, but of course there have been risks in the project when we were evaluating, and also hypothesis, if any. I did not put the hypothesis here as well. The contextual factors are that we are assuming that the institutional framework is stable. The government of Turkey stable. There's no war. There's nothing that will interfere with what is going on in that project. Second is the beneficiaries are able to participate, because there may be some beneficiaries that say, I don't care, I don't want, blah, blah. So beneficiaries are motivated so that what the WWH gives, they will be received by the beneficiaries for their own benefits. And farmer training personnel is sufficient. Agricultural specialists, they are well trained. Veterinary support is sufficient. I forgot to, here. Supporting factors, language is of course Arabic. So we had to have Arabic translators for the people who are going to take it. This is positive unintended effects. What is this? Network, social network. That was something that we did not measure in this, but I wish we were able to. But we measured this in another agricultural project in Malawi, and we were able to find that social networks increased and became tighter, very tighter. And if you have used social network analysis in your evaluation, there are several social network measures like centrality, between centrality, eigenvalue, centrality, eigenvalue, things like that. I forget now. We were able to find the connection between these centrality measures with income. So that was so interesting for that. So here we were not able to measure, but I wanted to put that unintended effect because the people, when they for example, like us, 20 people, they were having training. Now you will have higher network between each other, and you will have benefits from this type of network in your professional life, in your everyday life. Just like that, in the training that the beneficiaries, when they work together, they would find more tighter relationships between each other, between families. A family will take care of the other family's children. The other family will have effect on other families' education. So networking is important. So I wanted to add this unintended effect as social networks improvement. So that is the simple theory of change. Yes.
I have two questions.
Sure.
The first one, the supporting factor of the language support of Arabic. What about the Kurdish language? Because the area in
yes,
Turkey
they
is
have that, yeah.
also
Turkish.
the Kurdish public,
Yeah.
and also like the Syrian probably as well. So that was also
Yes.
okay. And
But
then-
mostly they were Arabic, talking Arabic.
and the second, so you said there were the short-term outcomes, and like the other ones were the long-term. So the well-being is the impact.
Ultimate. Impact.
Is that impact?
Impact,
Okay.
yeah, ultimate, long term, yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question regarding the input facilitated employment in greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what does that mean? Because I see like the other activity is about land use, so that's employment.
Mhm.
So did that third activity wanted to increase employment among the refugees?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, they have built the, and the family labor will be employed there.
employed in the, let's say, in the farm that they have,
the farm.
not for other.
No, in their own family farms.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you have maybe a large family, if you have 7 children, for example, you may have that seven children to may work in the neighboring farm, and they may have their own pocket money.
But that's not what the program said.
No, it may be like something like that. I did not know, actually, I cannot say that it has happened, but it may be happening.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
And you said the evaluation of the impact, so the nutritional change, someone like another institute or another company did that. Is that already like, has that happened?
I don't know.
So you don't know what the, like the whole result?
It was in the middle of the pandemic, so we had to make that remote evaluation. So I really don't know what has happened afterwards.
Yeah, would be interesting to know, but.
Yeah, it's really interesting to know.
So, would it be possible for you to send us the whole, the report or the study, like afterwards?
Sure, I will try to find my notes at least,
Yeah.
the part that I have written. Yeah, of course.
So we have the same question.
Oh, no
about
problem.
The assumption, specifically that the beneficiaries are eager to participate, because when we go to exams or quantitative impact evaluation, when you have the beneficiaries not participating or not taking the treatment,
Yes,
we assess what they call the effect of the treatment.
yes,
and the
yes,
treatment,
treatment,
right? So I was wondering if you have something similar when not considering that they are willing to participate, because this is a strong assumption. Right? For example, there's this famous valuation on the Kramer and something like did in some country in Africa, I can't remember, that the treatment was to give kids iron pills so they can have
better
health
iron.
and they discovered that the kids are not swallowing the pills. They're just putting aside and then they're leaving, they're spilling the
Oh,
pills
my
outside. And then you have a big problem of no compliance,
Oh,
right?
yes.
That's why I was thinking that this is a big assumption.
That's
that
true.
So I was wondering how,
That's
in the
true.
context of the theory of change, or theory-based
We have to-
evaluation,
I
and things like that,
understand.
without using it as a assumption.
Well, we don't expect 100% participation, but what we did was to involve the village leaders. We involved the Muhtars so that they would assure them that it will not be harmful for their families. So we had, they had to have a support system.
So there was another support.
That's true, actually, yeah. Maybe we could write it here too.
You do
I-
that.
I- Wanted to reply. You're completely right, it depends, but I think it depends on the context, on the statute. We are talking here about refugees, which is different, something different than some kids taking some pills. The context and the conditions, socioeconomic conditions are completely different. So that you can see in some different other evaluations, this
Yeah.
happening, and I know what is happening with the tuberculosis
But
programs.
compliance is normal when they.
Yes, it's normal, yes, yes.
Of course,
But
laziness.
in special conditions as refugees, I think you need to see in a different perspective than a normal context.
Yeah, it's also different when
But-
it's like two Americans coming in and say, "Ah, take this bill."
Yeah, yes. But of course, I think that the discussion is very good if you take the same project and you apply it in a poor rural area with no refugees. If those,
With the local communities.
with the local community, if that community will be eager to participate.
Yeah.
That's true, because their other option is to go out and beg for money. So in Turkey, we have that.
Or to wait for the social income.
Yeah.
To reach one club.
Yeah. Or sent back to their home countries. So this is not the case now.
No, but thank you for that.
Yeah. So the evaluation design was partly participatory because of the language barrier, but still they got some input from the beneficiaries. WWH staff was active there. WWH staff has a office in Gaziantep. Oh, did you know that? Yeah. They have an office there, so they participate there. The stakeholders of the Turkish people work there, of course, but they are involved with WWH. Stakeholders, direct beneficiaries participated in the evaluation, and they have followed. It was not me because I was just there to consult with the design of the questionnaires and qualitative and quantitative analysis mostly. They use that criteria, OECD Development Assistance Committee criteria that we have discussed in the beginning, and Claudia is going to talk about that in the coming tomorrow, on Friday. I'm not going to go all over that, but these are the questions that we have used. Relevance, effectiveness, efficiency, sustainability, and impact. And these are the questions that we have used. All of these are, this is larger. I just took the parts of the Excel.
What were your methods? So the evaluation questions, did you do like interviews with like the families?
Yes.
Or?
Beneficiaries,
Okay, yeah.
beneficiaries interviews, yes.
Only interviews or other?
Focus groups, interviews, not in this one, but they may have used, I don't know, best practices, but I don't think so here. Yeah, but focus groups and interviews, I know they have done that. Oh, no, also we had talked in-depth interviews with the Muhtars, the
Yeah.
head of the villages, and in-depth interviews with the agricultural specialists, in-depth interviews with the trainers, yeah. Okay, so that is one example. One other example, but I mean,
Just quick issue is it's safe to use OECD criteria because they are already discussed at the international level and validated. So it's the safest way to use criteria. But if you consider that you need other criteria in your evaluation, don't be shy to use it.
yeah.
Don't try not to use it because sometimes you really need something else. It's important to define the criteria. This is the most important issue, not to avoid to use a new criteria just because you thought that at OECD we have only this. You should be more flexible. Yes.
But then, yeah, I think.
And
the issue is-
creative.
Yeah, the issue is, how can I make this new criteria? How can I make it as scientific or as adaptable to the evaluation that it would be accepted?
But I think that when you propose the criteria, you will discuss with your team.
Yeah.
And if we start with your team and consider that, yes, I should have inclusiveness, for example, in the criteria, and not included in the other criteria that we have, you should put a specific criteria and define it. Why? Or maybe you have a project in which you should observe what are the social innovation topics. I don't think that if you use only this criteria, you will have a complete evaluation. So you should be creative sometimes and try to make more criteria that fit with what you want to evaluate. Even if at the end, maybe you will have a lot of comments why I don't think it's good that, okay, but OECD developed this criteria in years.
How many
So-
years? Yeah.
You can have also an input for them to try to change it.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point because as we just discussed, and OECD is also like getting or creating new criteria as well, which shows us that it's nothing stable forever. So it changes with time and circumstances. So yeah, actually, that's really true.
So just 5 more minutes, and then tomorrow I'm going to give this in more detail and with the logical framework. But this is a theory of change, another theory of change, which is more interactive with each other. This is a Heifer International in Malawi. That was the project that I was telling you about with regards to social capital. So the social capital development, the intervention was, the inputs were training and asset transfer. I will give more information about that. Asset transfer is meaning that they give cows to the families. And then it increases the productive capacity, training increases knowledge, and knowledge increases collective action like cooperatives and saving groups. With cooperatives and value chain productive capacity increases, income increases, access to resources increases, saving groups are formed. So this smooths consumption. What does that mean? You consume a certain amount of food every day, but in some days you starve. You don't starve here. This is Malawi, this is a really big issue. And investment, it increases the productive capacity, and these are the contextual factors. But tomorrow, more information related to that, because it's a case study that I'm going to introduce you by giving you the previous slide, this logical framework. I'm not going to go over this too much. Okay.